Hello Supergang. You've just caught me sitting by the window. I've been learning a bit about stars and I've got a really interesting app that shows you what the different stars are called and where they are in the sky. And so I thought I'd love to go and have a look at them. And so I came over to the window and then I suddenly remembered that it's the summer at the moment. And that means it doesn't get dark for ages and ages and ages. And so I thought I'd sit by the window and see if it gets dark soon, but as you can tell, it's really, really bright outside still. And so I'm sitting and hoping that the stars will soon come out so that I can use my app and see if I can name some of the stars I can see. I was reminded as I was sitting here that sometimes I can get a bit frustrated when I have to wait for something. I don't know if you've ever felt like that, when maybe you've got a present sitting under the tree at Christmas and you want to open it right now and you don't want to have to wait. Or maybe you're waiting for someone to come and pick you up from something and you know that they're coming, but you want them to be there right now. Or maybe even at dinner time when you know that there's a really nice pudding like ice cream and you just want to get through the main course and you want all the grown-ups to eat much quicker so that it can be pudding time now. It can be really hard to wait patiently. Patiently can mean waiting cheerfully without getting cross and without getting frustrated. Sitting looking at the stars and trying to be patient has reminded me of someone in the Bible. I wonder if you can guess who I'm thinking of. There's someone in the Bible who God spoke to about the stars, but he had to be really, really patient to wait to see what God was talking about. Let's have a look at that story now together.
Son of laughter. Abraham, God said, how many stars are there? God was about to tell his friend a wonderful secret. Let me see, Abraham said, rolling up his sleeves. But have you ever tried counting stars? Then you know how hard it is. 993, 994, 997... No, wait. 1, 2... Well, of course, he kept losing count. Too many, he said. Guess what? God laughed. I will give you so many children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, you won't be able to count them either. Abraham couldn't help giggling at such a wonderful idea, but he stopped himself. How could he have a family? Don't be silly. He didn't have any children, let alone grandchildren. He wiped away a tear. Anyway, it was far too late for him to start having babies at his age. He was 99 years old. What could God mean? Abraham, God said, believe me. And then God told Abraham his secret rescue plan. Abraham, I will make your family very big, God promised, until one day your family will come to number more than even all the stars in the sky. Abraham looked up at the dark night sky, thick with stars. You will be my special family, my people, and through you everyone on earth will be blessed. It was an incredible promise. God was going to rescue the world through Abraham's family. One of his great-great-great-grandchildren would be the child, the promised one, the rescuer. Oh, but it's too wonderful, Abraham said. How can it be true? Is anything too good to be true? God asked. Is anything too wonderful for me? So Abraham trusted what God said, more than what his eyes could see, and he believed. Now when Abraham's wife Sarah heard God's promise, she just laughed to herself. But it wasn't a happy laugh. It had tears in it. She had always wanted a baby. Could her dream come true? Could she really have a baby when she was 90 years old? No, of course not. Don't be silly. It was far too late. See, Sarah didn't believe God could do what he promised. She had forgotten that when God says something, it's as good as done. Of course, it was as easy for God to give her a baby son as it was for him to make all the stars in the sky. And sure enough, 9 months later, just as God had promised, Sarah gave birth to a baby boy. They named him Isaac, which means son of laughter. And Sarah laughed. But this time it was a glorious, happy laugh. Her dream had come true. God would do as he promised. He would always look after Abraham's family, his special people. And one day, God would send another baby. A baby promised to a girl who didn't even have a husband. But this baby would bring laughter to the whole world. This baby would be everyone's dream come true.
Wow, that was a great story about Abraham and Sarah. They had to be really patient to wait for what God had promised them. And we know in the story that they weren't always patient. Sometimes they tried to fix it for themselves, and sometimes they got frustrated with God because they couldn't see what he had told them. But in the end, they always trusted in God to do what he had said, and they were able to wait patiently for the promise. I want to be able to wait patiently too, and that's our fruit of the Spirit today. And that means we know that when we have God's Spirit living inside us, he can help us to be more patient. So I'm going to ask God to help me to be more patient when I get frustrated. I thought you might like to have a go at making something that will help you practice patience. You could do a few different things. You might want to bake something and you have to be patient for it to cook in the oven. You might want to write a letter to somebody and put an envelope with your address on and be patient to see if they will write back. Or you could have a go at making this game. You will need a paper cup, some string, a ball pit ball, some scissors and some sellotape. You also might want some paint or some stickers or some felt tip pens for decorating. The first thing that you need to do is to make a hole in the bottom of your cup. You might want to ask an adult to do this, and you can sometimes do it just by using a biro. Once you've done that, you need to push a piece of string through the hole in your cup and tie a knot. It needs to be quite a big knot to make sure it doesn't come back through the hole again. Once you've done that, take the other end of the string and tape it onto your ball. You've now got a toss ball game. You need to flick the ball up and see if you can catch it in the cup. Once you've had a go at making this, you might want to decorate it so that it looks really pretty, and you can keep it as a game to play to help you practice patience. I hope you enjoy making that, and I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you soon. I'm going to keep waiting, see if the stars come out. Bye bye.